Hey everybody, thanks for watching Back to the Outdoors. Today I want to talk about trauma kits and medical kits. This is a kit that I keep in my house. Now I keep a slimmed down version of this kit in both of our vehicles. The reason I made this video is because I see a lot of these pre-packaged medical kits, trauma kits out there. You guys can put yours together way cheaper if you do it yourself. Keep in mind though, this is May of 2021 as I'm filming this video. Medical supplies right now, along with a lot of other things, are more expensive for a variety of reasons, so don't quote me on that. I put my kit together 7 or 8 years ago. But having said that, I still think you guys can probably do it cheaper. If you see anything in the kit or that's not in the kit, you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching Back to the Outdoors. Let's check out the kit. Okay, let's begin by first talking about the actual pack or the bag that I keep all this stuff in. I've got some notes here with some specs. This is called the Conterra Infinity Expedition Modular Medical Organizer. It's a mouthful. It weighs 1 pound 3 ounces or 539 grams. I ordered this from Rescue Essentials, their website. The reason I did that is because they had a good price on it. They also sold the modular little pouches for it, and I'll go through what those are in a second. This is made in the US, it has a lifetime warranty, it is very high quality. If you're looking to put together a very economical kit, I probably would not go out and spend $140 on this. I spent more than $140 on it because I added some of these modular accessories to it. This can be worn around your waist. Actually, let me just show you really quickly. It has 2 Velcro pouches, and out from there comes a belt, so you can wear this around your waist and you can have access to both your hands if you need to, which is a really nice feature of a bag like this. All right, let's also talk about what's not in here. You're not gonna see medication in here. This is not designed to address a headache or sinus problems or allergies or anything like that. This is a medical/trauma kit. There's not going to be a decompression needle in here because that is one thing I do need to get. There's no pressure bandage in here. I do have several pressure bandages in my car, but there's not one specifically in this bag, although you could make one out of the stuff in here. Also, you're not going to find a knife or a seatbelt cutter in here. That is because I have one of those in my car. Having said that, it would probably make sense to keep that in here. So this is a completely contained unit that you could just grab this if you are keeping this in your vehicle, and you would be able to break a window if you had to, if you were to come upon a car accident. And we have actually been the first responder on a car accident once. Just by happenstance, I was able to provide that person with some gauze. Luckily, they were not bleeding bad enough to need a tourniquet or something like that. All right, so that's some of the background on this. Let's start to go through this stuff, and I'll start up here on this end. Here I have 3 different types of bandages, basically. This is Corbon tape. This stuff is kind of self-adherent. It just kind of wraps on itself and sticks. Most of you are familiar with this. This is, I believe, a 2 or 2.5 inch. Same thing, this is an A-style bandage. And then I have some standard 3M white medical tape. I went with the larger because you can always cut it if you need smaller. This is 2 or 2.5 inches. There is a pocket behind each one of these pouches. So these Velcro on, you can Velcro on any number of accessories. These are not the only different types of accessories they make. So you got the small, medium, and large. They do have other accessories that you can Velcro or attach on here. These actually Velcro on with these Velcro straps, and they flip out. All right, let's go ahead and start with the center pocket. And you can see it's very high quality Velcro or hook and loop, whatever you want to call it. Here I have 2 tourniquets, self-explanatory. This is the probably the number one thing in any trauma kit. I have 2 because if you come upon a bad car accident or whatever the case may be, you may need more than one of these. These are cat tourniquets from North American Rescue. In here I've got some blood loss items. Now I keep these in a gallon freezer bag, and the reason for that is because these are all sterile, and I want to maintain that integrity. So I want to keep water or anything else from getting in here. So I keep them in a gallon Ziploc bag. Abdominal pad, 7.5 by 8 inches. I have 4 of these in here. And then I just have some gauze rolls, 4.5 inches by 4 yards. I've got a dental kit, maybe not necessarily trauma, but it's nice to have. It's got some toothache serum and something else in there from Red Cross for dental issues. This is an emergency blanket. I had an extra one of these, so I just threw it in here. This is about as low grade as you're gonna get for this whole kit. I do keep some Neosporin and some regular Band-Aids in here. The reason for that is that, let's say you were gonna go on vacation somewhere, we're gonna have a bunch of family members with you and you were renting a house or something and you wanna have some medical kit there. It'd be nice to be able to at least take care of some scrapes and cuts, so you've got some basic stuff in here like that. But that's about as low grade as you're gonna find in terms of the supplies in here. Over here, I have 2 pairs of hemostats. The reason I have 2 is because you or whoever else is working on the patient, whether it's an EMT or a doctor's on the scene or whatever the case may be, they may need more than 1 pair. These are relatively cheap, so I'd recommend getting more than 1 pair because they might break. These are not surgical grade, you know. If you have access to surgical grade stuff, it costs, that's great, but I don't know what a pair of actual surgical operating room grade forceps cost, but I would probably guess, you know, the sky's the limit on some of that stuff. You could probably pay $200 honestly for a pair. I bet you could get some pretty decent ones for 30 or 40 bucks. These were $5, $6 a piece. Pair of EMT shears. These are a little higher quality than maybe some of the red-handled ones. A lot of people complain about those shears bending and things like that, so I went with a little bit a better pair, I like to think. This is called Madison Supply. I don't remember where I got these, but you know, I think they're a little better than the red ones. I actually have a couple pairs of the red ones, and I will say those seem a little heavier duty. I have a couple scalpels in here. I mean, this can be used for any number of things. If you had to remove something below someone's skin, a tick or something, I mean, there's just a bunch of reasons that you could use something like this. And again, this is a trauma kit. This is not a first aid kit, so you're gonna expect to see stuff like this in here. These are some syringes if somebody needs insulin or anything like that. You've got a variety of sizes in here. I also have a pair of precision tweezers, and then there are some little pins in here. These have a variety of uses for ace bandages and whatnot. Here you have your airway. And these are Berman Airways. You've got a variety of sizes from very small all the way up to extra large. This is, again, $5, $6 for this entire pack. Here's a nasal pharyngeal airway with some, you know, Surgilube lubricant. You probably should have more than one of these in here. I do have more than one, but not in this kit. But I have one here. This is a double pack, a dual pack, chest seals. And again, you can get medical training, learn how to use this stuff, learn how to know when you need it. But even if you don't know how to use it yourself, put it in here, because chances are somebody else might. I've got a SAM splint. Most people know what those are. This is a very large 20 by 30 sterile trauma dressing. This can obviously absorb a ton of blood. Then I also have just some more gauze sponges in here. Again, this is in a heavy mill Ziploc bag because I want to maintain the sterile integrity of these bandages. In here, you've got some sterile exam gloves, small and medium. These are actually both latex. It would probably be a good idea to have some non-latex gloves as well. These are tongue depressors, various uses. They're lightweight. These are some abdominal ABD pads, non-adherent dressings. I have two very large 4x4 burn dressings. These are great. I've used these on small burns as they were getting close to the expiration date. I think it was my wife burned herself on the stove or something, and it does a great job of soothing the burn. But again, this is a trauma kit, so you're not gonna find some little thing. These are big, designed to address serious burns. In here, you're gonna find a lot of kind of dressings. Here's some alcohol wipes. Here are some steri strips. You can also get a medical stapler, things like that for closing wounds. This is just more, actually these are non-stick pads. And then I have some more non-stick pads. These are oil emulsion, which means it's basically a little piece of cloth that's soaked in oil, and this would go directly over the wound when you're dressing it. That way, when you go to take it off later, it doesn't stick to the wound and you're not tearing the wound open or tearing at the skin when you take it off. These are 3x8. I have a handful of these in here. Then I've got some kind of esoteric medical bandages. You know, this, again, you don't have to have this stuff in here, but this is Polymem. You guys can look that up. These used to be very expensive. They probably still are. This comes in silver as well. These are basically a newer technology on how to heal wounds. I don't remember what these cost each. I would not recommend going out and getting this. It's just, you know, I was kind of sampling a variety of things when I put this together years ago. So I threw these in here. These are probably $5, $6, $7 a piece for these. This is a Tegaderm super absorber, and then I have some Tegaderm film. Not necessary, but again, I kind of sampled some of this stuff. If you're interested in it, that's what it looks like, but definitely not necessary. That's it. I mean, this is what it looks like folded up. Obviously much thicker when I get all that stuff back in here. I do keep a CPR face shield on the outside. I don't think they teach mouth to mouth anymore, but when I put this together, they still were. So I have that in here. It's a, you know, reflective color. Like I said, high quality, has the waist straps on it. That's pretty much it. I am missing the decompression needle, the pressure bandage. I do have pressure bandages. Come on up, Bullseye. Come on, buddy. I do have pressure bandages in my car that I don't keep in here. And again, the seatbelt cutter and the knife I have in my vehicle, but I think there's a good case to be made for keeping that stuff in here. That way you can just grab this thing and you got everything in it. You don't have to kind of piecemeal it together at the last minute. I'm throwing this in because I forgot to show this. This is an eye wash kit, pretty basic, but I did want to show this. I used to keep wound cleanse in here. Actually, I had a bottle of it and it expired and I have not replaced it yet. So that is one thing that's not pictured that I should probably get back in here. So that's it. If you guys see anything that I'm missing that you have in your kit, or if you have any questions on, where I got some of this, or, it's just like buying anything else. Try and buy it as much of it you can from the same place, obviously to save on shipping, look for coupon codes, all that stuff. I bought this years ago. Medical supplies, honestly, probably because of COVID, are maybe significantly more expensive now, even though most of this stuff was not in high demand because of COVID, but just general production issues and things like that maybe have driven up the cost of this. I honestly don't know because I haven't bought any medical supplies recently that I can think of. Hopefully it's not too expensive though for you people out there who are trying to put something together in order to be prepared for yourself and your family. But as always, thanks again for watching. Appreciate it.